Welcome to Wellness Wednesdays with Michelle. I'm your host, Michelle Hart, your #1 nutritionist and fat loss specialist. This show is all about how to eat, move, and live to have a fit and healthy life. Today's topic is the truth behind 5 top supplements. Now, the reason why I chose this topic is because when people come to me for one-on-one consulting, nutritional consulting, they show me what they're taking. And quite often I keep shaking my head thinking, this is so common. These 5 supplements that so many of my clients come to me with are just setting them back. They're actually not even moving them forward. Hi, Cheryl. And I'm getting concerned because the information isn't getting out there and this is actually harming people. So today's show is really important. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time, so thank you so much for listening and taking care of your health. Okay, so the #1 supplement that I'm actually going to start with is cyanocobalamin. That is a form of B12. It's a synthetic form of B12 and it has cyanide in it. Yes, it does. And so we know that cyanide isn't good for our bodies, but did you know that cyanide actually really hurts the mitochondria in particular? The mitochondria are these tiny little bacteria that are in your cells that actually make your energy. So you're creating less energy because you're taking a supplement that you think is going to give you energy. So that is not what we want to do. And what brought this to my attention was many years ago when I started doing blood tests and I did micronutrient tests. And I was consulting with one of the doctors, Bernarda Zenker. She's a medical doctor. So we would have conversations about clients' profiles and to work together to create supplementation programs that were the direct fit to my clients to get them better. Anyway, she said, make sure whatever you do, get them off the cyanocobalamin and get them onto different forms that will actually support their health instead of put their health back. So I started to do that. And then just like a few weeks ago, I started studying mitochondria again because I like to review and see what the latest research shows. And this other book called The Mitochondria Transcripts, which is what I'm reading right now, it's a medical reference. There was this other doctor that was talking about, and her name is Dr. Michelle Sands. So she does specific work with how hormones connect to mitochondria. And she specifically said cyanocobalamin is what is dangerous to our bodies. We cannot put that in our bodies because she's done studies that actually shows that it does disrupt the mitochondria, okay? So she basically says that you'll make energy, but just not as much. Well, we need energy for everything. So I thought I'd empower you with that bit of information. But then you may be saying, well, Michelle, like what forms of B12 should I be looking for? Well, the first thing I want you to do is make sure after you get off this call, check your vitamins. Look to see what type of B12 is in your multivitamin, in your B complex, in your B12 supplements. Really do me a favor and do that. We don't want cyanocobalamin, cyano with a C. We do want hydroxycobalamin or adrenocin-cobalamin. We don't want cyanocobalamin, okay? We want the methylated forms. We don't want the ones with cyanide, okay? So just check your label. And if you're not sure, you can send me a message and I'd be happy to help you with your supplements, okay? But don't take cyanocobalamin. So the other thing is, how do you know if you're even B12 deficient? Like, why even taking it? So these are the signs of B12 deficiency. The #1 is shortness of breath. There's fatigue, there's irritability, there's dry mouth, there is low blood cell count. So if you get your blood markers back from the doctor and it's really low in red blood cell, white blood cell platelets, you're likely low in B12. Also, you're depressed, you have anxiety, and you have ataxia, which means you don't have good balance. So those are clear signs of a B12 deficiency, and you really do need to pay attention because if you don't put that back in, it does lead to real serious complications. So just really pay attention to the B12, okay? The other thing that B12 is really important for is it make sure that it prevents the accumulation of homocysteine. You don't want a lot of homocysteine in the body because that leads to cardiovascular disease. It is directly linked to cardiovascular disease. So make sure that you get your B12s checked if you are at risk of cardiovascular disease. The other thing it's really important for is to normalize your circadian rhythm. So if you're somebody who can't get to sleep at night or has a really bad time sleeping, or if you're 20 or more pounds overweight, your circadian rhythm is off and you can't get better until you put that back on schedule. Okay, so I particularly work a lot with those that are 20 or more pounds overweight because I know they need to do different things than the average person, and that is fixing leptin, because if they don't fix leptin, nothing will work. So make sure if you are 20 or more pounds overweight and you're looking to shred the weight, good luck if you don't fix leptin, okay? So if anyone needs help, that is so my house. And I would love to help you. Just send me a message saying, you know, what is your strategy to lose 20 plus pounds? And I'm happy to help you there, okay? So the other thing that is, you may be taking B12, you may be eating foods that have B12, but you may not be absorbing B12. And this leads me to the next supplement I'm gonna talk about, which is your digestion. If you don't have enough stomach acid, you will not break down the B12. And we see this all the time. In fact, I'd say 99% of the clients come see me. They're coming to see me because they're not well and they want to burn fat and build muscle and have all day energy. Their stomach acid is always low. And so I need you to know that that is so important to getting your health back. Nothing will work until you fix your stomach acid. You will not break, again, B12 won't be absorbed. In fact, you won't be absorbing your vitamins, so it's a waste of time. So so we talked about B12, okay? You want the methylated form, the hydroxyl, or the adenosine form, not the cyanide form, okay? So that's what you want. So now I'm gonna move on to digestive enzymes. So which, I didn't have a picture of the first B12, but I do have one of the digestive enzymes, and I'm getting a question. Good, smart. Thanks, Cheryl. You're on the go. That's good. You're taking care of your health because we have to now. We're marketed to with stuff that doesn't work, and so I'm here to actually share the truth, okay? And you guys can fact check me. I'm fine with that, and if you find that I'm wrong, send me a message. I'm totally fine with that because I'm always open to new information. But anyways, getting back to digestive enzymes, this is the second supplement that I really want to shed the light on, okay, and bring truth to it. So clients come to me and they have, you know, issues, right? And so a lot of them are on these digestive enzymes, but when I look at what's in the digestive enzymes, they are not complete. They're not going to work. They're a waste of time. So they need hydrochloric acid and they need bile with the enzymes. I don't want to see just a bunch of plant enzymes. That will not do much. You need the starter kit to digestion, which is hydrochloric acid. Let's talk about, if you're low in hydrochloric acid, what that would feel like. So I actually have a symptomology list that I send to all of my personal clients to collect data to design their programs. And there's a section here about stomach acid. So these are sure signs that you may be low in stomach acid, okay? So the first one is you have indigestion or soreness in your stomach 2 to 3 hours after you eat. So what that means is if you get stomach pains and you've eaten a meal like 2 hours later, that is a really sure sign that you have low stomach acid, okay? Or you get abdominal bloating, you know, the end of the day belly bloat. That is also a sign that you don't have enough stomach acid, okay? If you eat a meat meal and it just sits like a log in your stomach and you're not digesting it, that is another sign that you don't have enough stomach acid. Or if you've lost the desire to even eat meat. Or if you want meat, but you just can't digest it. So that is such a sign that you don't have enough stomach acid, okay? Lots of gas or belching or bloating is a sign of low stomach acid. Burning sensation, like heartburn, like the acid reflux, it's not low stomach acid, it's high stomach acid. Oh, sorry, it's not high stomach acid. They're trying to put you on these these medications to stop the stomach acid. It's not that, it's you don't have enough of it. Okay, so it's sitting there and it's not breaking down, then finally it comes up, and that's acid reflux because you didn't have enough stomach acid to begin with. So, or if you eat and you're just like tired after, well, you're not breaking down your food, so you've got to really pay attention. Your body's saying, listen, I need some stomach acid in here. Can you help me? So that's another sign. Constipation, so not regular bowel movements, which means you need 1 to 3 bowel movements a day regularly. If you are backed up, you've really got to get that moving, and you really need to look at your stomach acid to see if that's optimal or not. If you look at your stools and they're greasy or they're floating or you see like particles in them, you're obviously not breaking down your food, so look at stomach acid. And if you look at your fingernails and they have like these ridges, that is a sign of poor digestion, which is a sign of low stomach acid. So you really need to pay attention to that, and make sure that when you look at your digestive enzymes, it has betaine, hydrochloric acid in there, okay? With another one, which is bile. Why don't formulas have enough bile in them? They need bile. You need bile. What do you need bile for? Bile breaks down your fat so that you can have healthy hormones, so that you can have nice hair and skin, so that your body can function and you can be a good fat burner. So we need to break down our fat, and we need bile to break down the fat. Well, if you're not breaking down your fat, then we have to look at bile. So here's the thing. If you don't have a gallbladder, you must take ox bile. There's not even, you have to take it because you're not actually releasing it when you need to. So your supplement needs to say ox bile in it. You actually need to be on that forever because you're not releasing it at the time that you need to. And here's the other thing. If you don't have a gallbladder, it's not the gallbladder's fault. It's the liver's congested. You have to back it up. Go higher up than what you think. The liver makes the bile and then stores it in the gallbladder. So the liver gets congested. It sends over too much yucky, bad bile. And then the gallbladder is like the one that the culprit. It's not. It's the liver. So if that happened to you, I'd be looking at cleaning your liver. All right. So anyways, those are some tips for some healthy, good digestive enzymes. And these notes actually help me stay on track. So we talked about B12, we talked about digestive enzymes, and now we're going to talk about the third supplement that I really want to bring some light on and shed some truth. I've been wanting to talk about this one for years and I haven't had the chance, but now I get to, so I'm so excited. Vitamin D. Yes, everyone's on vitamin D, but we all know vitamin D is really important for calcium homeostasis, also for phosphorus. We know it's good for bones and teeth, but did you know that you need K2 to be coupled with vitamin D to be able to shuttle the calcium that's being released into the right place? Yeah, so you have calcium, but you need to use K2 like the traffic controller to put the calcium into the bones and the teeth, okay? And not into where we don't want it, which is what we see a lot of. And you know what that is? Arteries. Yeah, it actually can settle into, the calcium can have deposits in your arterial system, leading to heart disease, arteriosclerosis, atherosclerosis, leading to osteoporosis, leading to varicose veins, leading to cancer. Absolutely. So I would never take vitamin D on its own because you're playing Russian roulette, because you're releasing this calcium, but the calcium has to be put in the right spot, which is the bones and the teeth, not in the arteries. So bingo, that's so important. So there, I've said it finally after a few years. So D3 with K2, 10-to-1 ratio is what you really need to do, and you'll be fine. So the other thing I want to say is, that's really it about D3, K2. Okay, so now we're going to get on to number 4, which is the probiotic. Okay, so clients come to me and they show me what the picture of the front and the back of their probiotic. Well, I have to say that most don't work. Okay, they don't work, and it's a waste of time and a waste of money, actually. You have to find the ones that actually are efficacious and have proven clinically to actually have an effect to what you want, which we know it supports immune system. It also is really helpful for weight loss, okay, if you take the right strains. But anyways, I didn't know that until I started to study this with one of the leading research scientists of probiotics, and that's Dr. Nigel Plummer. see if I could show you a photo of him. Anyways, he's a master. He's amazing. Here's him right here, Nigel Plummer. So he's out of the UK, and so his expertise is probiotics and fish oil. And so I've been to a lot of his workshops and a lot of his lectures over a span of like 10 years. And here is just some really important things to take away. Don't take a probiotic that's a cow strain. That is not compatible to us humans. That is a waste of time, okay? Not a cow strain. You want a human strain. So that's why the probiotics that I recommend to my clients is his probiotics, which is the Genesta brand, HMF. That stands for human microflora. This is a human strain. Take a human strain. That's the first thing I want you to do. The second thing is make sure that it shows that it does survive the stomach and gets into where it needs to go. We want it in the small intestine or we want it in the large intestine. Okay, there's different formulations for different areas that you're working on. Most will not implant into those areas that are a waste of time. They have to be carefully formulated to be able to get to where they need to go. Most don't, okay? And so what I love about Dr. Plummer's is he has research in the New England Journal of Medicine that proves that his strains and his formulas do go where they need to go, to the point that he can actually make claims on his labels saying what probiotic is for what. So he has one for, what does he have? Well, for antibiotics. If you're on antibiotics, you must take probiotics alongside the antibiotic dose. Different meal time, but you've got to take it alongside. The other one is he works with celiac, he works with Crohn's, he works with IBS, he works with children, he works with weight loss. So all these different categories have different strains and different amounts, okay? So he can claim on the label his probiotics work for certain things, okay? So that's, you know it's gonna work then. And so I just wanna talk a little bit about, when you look at your probiotics, you wanna make sure, if you're looking for something like weight loss, you wanna make sure you're looking for the bifidofactor, the Grassi factor, the strains, and the rhamnosus. Those are really shown to help with weight loss. If you're just starting out with probiotics, I would not have one with FOS. It will actually grow the bad bacteria along with the good bacteria. You don't want to grow the bad bacteria. You want to only grow the good ones. So you don't want to have FOS the first month. After your first month, then you can add a probiotic in that has FOS. So that's just another tip. And I hope that's been really helpful anyway. So now I'm going to move on to my last supplement that I really want to educate you. This is number 5. This is the 5th supplement that I'm going to talk about today and the truth behind it, and that is we got to take the right protein powder. Holy moly, I see some yucky stuff out there. So what I mean by yucky stuff is this. When you look at your protein powder, I want you to look at the ingredients. Not the marketing, but the actual what's in there. I don't want to see artificial ingredients. If it's artificial ingredients, I already know it's garbage. The other thing is it will stimulate your appetite. It will make you crave more sugar. And we know that they're trying to cover up a really badly formulated, badly tasting product, which you're taking it in concentrated form. So just think about that. Spend the extra little bit of money and take something that's going to nourish your body. And if you're looking for something then I would be looking at a formulation that has stevia, like a natural sweetener, stevia, Lohan Go, or something like monk fruit. Those are really good sweeteners that you can look at when it comes to protein powder, okay? The other thing about protein powder is clients come to me when they want to build muscle and they want to lean out and they want to have like all day energy, okay? So that's like my wheelhouse, that's what I do. So we want to make sure that your protein powder has 2.5 grams of leucine. It's a type of essential amino acid that you actually can't make. You have to get it from your food. And if you're looking at protein powder to replace proteins in your diet, like say in a shake, make sure that you're taking enough leucine, because if you do, you're gonna get into way better body composition than you would without it, because that grows muscle, which is what we want protein for, right? Yes, we do. And also one more thing, if you're taking a plant-based protein, which this one is, all right, you want to take a digestive enzyme before, all right, that has what? Hydrochloric acid and bile, right? And the enzymes. Yes, I like this one. Anyways, because then you're going to actually absorb your plant protein, because they are harder to absorb. Whey isolate is better if you can handle dairy, but if you can't handle dairy, then I would go to a plant-based that has natural sweeteners, that has high leucine, and that you take a digestive enzyme first. So I really hope that's been helpful. I do want to share something that happened to me yesterday. Oh, I stepped on something. And it's just the common thing I keep hearing all the time. So what happened was, this is important if you have cardiovascular disease, by the way, or if you have digestive issues and you're on medication, you really need to hear this, because I see this situation happen all the time. So I got this call from a male client, and he was sent to me by another male client who got really well really quickly. So he's like sending me all these people, and that's great. Thank you very much. So anyways, I got this call and we started talking about, he's like, yeah, I need to lose some weight. I need to lose 50 pounds. I'm like, perfect. I'd love to help you there. And then I said, by any chance, are you on any medications? Oh, no, not really. I said, do you have any medical condition? Not really. Oh, yeah, I guess I do. I have high blood pressure that my doctor's treating me on. I said, okay, so you're on blood pressure medication? Yes, I am. Oh, okay. Well, is there anything else maybe that you might be on? Oh, yeah, I guess when I think about it, he put me on something that was helping with all the acid reflux I was having. I said, oh, so, and I can't remember the name, but it's this one that actually stops stomach acid production. I'm like, ooh, okay. And then he says, yeah, and there was this other thing. I started to get these hives that were coming out of my skin. And he put me on something that just got rid of it right away. Some kind of cream that it was, and when he looked at the side effects, it was for like antidepressant, I guess, because it stopped with, I don't know why they did that. But anyways, I'm like, okay, are you tired? Yeah, I'm really tired. Yeah, because the medication, for high blood pressure, that depletes the one nutrient that your heart needs the most, and so does your mitochondria, and it's called CoQ10. He's like, oh my God, how come the doctor didn't tell me? Well, guess what? I love doctors, and they're really important, but they're not trained that way. So they're just not. It's the medical system doesn't train them to do that. So it's not the doctor's fault. It's the system is broken. So if you're looking for good nutrition help from a doctor, that's not their scope of practice. Okay, nutritionists like me, that's what I do. So I just want you to know that I love doctors, but when you're on medication, just know that your body's depleting of certain minerals or vitamins that you need. Okay, you need. That's for your heart and for your energy. So if he continues that way, he's just gonna go downhill. And you know what? A lot of this stuff can be actually fixed with the right diet and the right things. Like diet and lifestyle fixes a lot of things. So I'm really grateful he's on board. The other thing is, when you take something that stops your stomach acid, do you think you're digesting any of your food? How are you going to be healthy? So that is not fixing the problem. It's shooting the messenger. The messenger is, I have reflux, what's going on, right? Or my blood pressure is off, what's going on? Not, I don't want to hear that. I don't even want to see that. There's stuff brewing in there that you really need to pay attention to, because if not, it leads to way worse things, and quickly. Like I'm saying, fast. So anyways, so basically, and then the third thing, hives. When you have hives, that's called a histamine response. That means you're eating something or you've been exposed to something that the body has an immediate histamine response, and it's trying to tell you what you're doing is hurting me. It's not, I don't want to see that. Okay, so I know I've got to look at what he's eating to make sure that it's compatible to his body. All right, so when I work with diet and I work with his lifestyle, which is getting his digestion working and his daily habits, the digestion, the sleep, the proper eating, foods that you love. Believe me, I would never put you on a plan with foods you don't love. That would just be wrong. I like to incorporate foods you do like. Okay, and remember, it's a journey. It's not like so strict that you can't follow it. Those are not my plans. These are plans that actually you can follow for a lifetime, and they're fun and they're fulfilling, and they're really fresh, like fresh food. Anyways, so I just wanted to warn you that if you are on medication, I'd be double checking the nutrient depletion. I'd be looking at the side effects, and that could be the reason why you feel the way you are. All right. And just a supplement's not going to fix it. You've got to look at what's my body saying? So I'd be so happy to help you with that, because that is exactly what I do. That's my expertise for 20 years. So I'm going to offer a few things here. The first one is, if you want to take some snapshots of your supplements, I can actually give you some feedback on that. So I'll offer that to you. The other thing is, if you really want to get a plan that is easy to follow step by step, and you have a coach to walk you through it so it sticks, that is exactly what I do. I help fix conditions. I do with the right diet and lifestyle. Okay, I do my best, and I work with doctors, not against them at all. I work with them because I like them, and they have their place. But you know, foods that you love, a lifestyle that you can do, and something that is like your journey, and you really do feel, every day you feel better. And then when you look back, you go, oh my God, I'm so proud of the work I did. Like, I'm so much better. So anyways, I thought I would share that with you. And has this been helpful? Has this not been helpful? Send your comments, show me your supplements, and if anyone wants more information about a plan that I can create for you to get you fit and healthy, then let me know, and I'm there for you. So thanks for tuning in, and please share this with others if you like it, and I'll see you next week.